What if everything you thought you knew about money was just the surface layer of a much deeper, more complex system? What if I told you there's a map to understanding this system? From ancient gold to the digital future of Bitcoin and government-backed currencies, today we're diving into a book that completely reshaped my understanding of wealth. Layered Money by Nik Bhatia. I'm not a guru, just a fellow learner on this journey, and this book has been an incredible guide. So, if you're ready to peel back the layers and see what's really going on, stick around. First, what is layered money? It sounds complicated, but the core idea is simple. Think of a pyramid. At the very bottom, you have the most fundamental, most trusted asset. Every layer built on top of that base asset is a claim on the layer below it. Each new layer adds convenience, but also introduces a little more risk, a little more distance from the foundational asset. Understanding this hierarchy is absolutely critical for anyone trying to build or protect their wealth today, because the layers are shifting right underneath our feet. Let's start at the very bottom of the pyramid. Gold. For thousands of years, gold was the ultimate money. It's durable, scarce, and universally recognized. It was the base layer, the bedrock of the global financial system. When you held a gold coin, you held the actual asset. But carrying gold around is inconvenient and risky, which led to the creation of the next layer, paper claims on gold. These were essentially IOUs from banks, promising you could redeem your paper for real gold anytime. This made commerce easier, but it also introduced a new element: trust. You had to trust the bank to honor its promise. This brings us to our modern era and the next major layer, fiat currency, like the US dollar. After the gold standard was abandoned, the dollar itself became the base layer for most of the world. But it's a different kind of base. It's not backed by a physical commodity, but by the full faith and credit of the government that issues it. It's money by decree. And even fiat money has its own layers. At the very bottom are central bank reserves, the money that commercial banks use to settle payments with each other. On top of DoD, you have the cash in your wallet and the digital dollars in your bank account, which are essentially claims on the central bank's reserves. When you swipe your debit card, you're not moving base money. You're just shifting liabilities around on a bank's ledger. This system works because we all trust it will. But that trust is what gives it value. Now, this is where things get really interesting. In 2009, a new, completely different type of money appeared. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is fascinating because it's a digital native base layer. It's like digital gold. It's a first layer asset that doesn't rely on any government or bank for its existence or its validation. It has no counterparty risk. It's a bearer asset, meaning if you hold the private keys, you hold the Bitcoin. No one can stop your transaction, freeze your account, or print more of it. It's a return to a hard, foundational money, but designed for the digital age. In the layered money pyramid, Bitcoin is trying to establish itself as a new, independent base layer, right alongside gold and sovereign currencies. But the evolution doesn't stop there. Governments and central banks see this shift happening, and they're not just sitting on the sidelines. They're developing their own digital currencies, known as CBDCs, or Central Bank Digital Currencies. A CBDC would be a digital version of a country's fiat currency, a direct liability of the central bank. Think of it as having an account directly with the Federal Reserve instead of a commercial bank. On one hand, this could make payments faster and more efficient. On the other hand, it raises huge questions about privacy and control. A CBDC could potentially allow the issuer to track every single transaction you make. They could even program the money, deciding what you can and can't spend it on, or creating money with an expiration date to force spending. This is a powerful new layer that could fundamentally change our relationship with money and the state. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? How does understanding layered money help us? It changes everything. It helps you see why inflation is happening. When new layers of credit and money are created on top of a fixed base, the value of each individual unit of currency can decline. It reframes your investment decisions. You start asking different questions. Is holding cash in a bank safe? Or is it a third layer claim with inherent risks? Is gold an outdated relic? Or is it still the ultimate disaster hedge? Is Bitcoin a speculative bubble? Or is it the most pristine collateral for a new digital financial system? Understanding this framework gives you financial sovereignty. You're no longer just accepting the monetary system as it is. You're analyzing it. You can make conscious decisions about which layers you want to hold your wealth in, balancing the trade-offs between convenience, risk, and control. Maybe you keep some cash for daily expenses, some stocks for growth, some gold for stability, and some Bitcoin as a long-term store of value outside the traditional system. The point isn't to pick one winner, but to understand the properties of each layer and build a resilient strategy that works for you in this evolving world. We've journeyed from gold to dollars to Bitcoin, and into the potential future of CBDCs. The world of money is not static. It's a dynamic, layered system that is constantly changing. The most important investment you can make is in your own education. I highly recommend picking up Layered Money by Nik Bhatia to go even deeper. This isn't just theory. This is the new reality we're all navigating. What are your thoughts on this? Which layer do you feel most comfortable holding your wealth in? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you found this valuable, please like and subscribe for more content that helps you make sense of our complex world. See you next time.